Many of us think of the Sleeping Bear Dunes as our own, but it is a national lakeshore, and changes in Washington may impact how we use the area. A viewer wanted to know what it means for her and other park users. The answers are tonight's Fact Finder report. The Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore is almost 72,000 acres of sand dunes, shoreline, and forest. But soon, almost half of that may be designated as wilderness and given special protection.
These are areas they want to keep pristine and natural for the public to go and enjoy that.
Recently, Senator Levin and Representative Hoekstra simultaneously introduced bills to preserve 32,557 acres within the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore as wilderness. That means for non-mechanized recreation only.
The other thing that this bill will do is continue the management that we're doing now, preserving the hunting and fishing opportunities, the boating and the hiking, all the things people come here for, so that that will go on into the future indefinitely. And a future manager can't change it and say, oh, I'm going to open a new road or I'm going to build a new visitor center in someone's favorite mushrooming spot.
After 3 years of public input, the final plan is not as restrictive as an earlier version.
What the public really wanted to make sure of, and what this bill does, is make sure that the roads that people drive today to get to the beaches and trails, etc., will remain open. The previous proposal would have closed several of those roads that are actually used quite often. So that's one big important change.
There was something else specifically left out of the wilderness area, the shoreline.
Well, what we did is we made sure that the beaches below the vegetation to the water would not be in wilderness, because we didn't want to constrain people from enjoying a motorboat out in the lake and then being able to beach that motorboat with its motor, because motors are not an appropriate use of wilderness.
The plan still needs to be approved by Congress and signed by the President, but Ulrich expects it to move quickly. Once it's approved, though, you shouldn't see many more changes for quite a while.
Well, if there's any changes afterwards, it would have to actually literally be an act of Congress, because Congress is saying on these acres, we want the primary emphasis to be on this non-mechanized, primitive recreation, to give people an opportunity to really get away from it all.
So what do you think about the plan? Is it a good idea? Should we do this in more areas? Or do you think it's too restrictive? Did you know that you can't even use a bicycle in a wilderness area because it is mechanized? Log on to upnorthlive.com, look for this Fact Finder report, and leave your thoughts. Now, if you'd like to see a map of all the areas that are now going to be considered wilderness if Congress approves this, I did put a link to that on our website. Again, it's with this story under Fact Finders.